Alright, Travis Wayne Goodsell. Just got back from my run. But I think I'm going to make this an all-day series. A video lecture. I think having it in short segments and accompanying with pictures, this will help with the presentation. This is just for Mormons. I'm using Mormon theology, I'm using Mormon understanding, Mormon interpretation, Mormon. So if you are not Mormon, if you are ex-Mormon, if you are anti-Mormon, understand this from the outset, that you will be upset because you disagree with Mormon theology, understanding, interpretation, tradition, etc. This is just going to be for Mormons, and I'll put it in a separate playlist for people to follow one after the other. The topic is the Mormon understanding of the last days Messiah. And Mormons are going to be shocked because I'm using their understanding, their theology, but it's not what they've ever heard or known or understood before. So Mormons, Messiah is a Hebrew word for anointed. Thus Christ, Greek for anointed. You need to understand that. When we went through our temple initiatories, we were washed and anointed. We now take upon ourselves the name of Christ. At baptism, we are willing to take upon ourselves the name of Christ. Now that we've been through the temple, we take upon ourselves the name of Christ because we're anointed. It's a title, not really a name. So understand this. This is crucial for your understanding. For the Jews, their Messiah is not the Jesus of the Gospels per se. And I can't get into it right now. We'll see about getting into it in this lecture. The main reason that the Jews do not accept the Gospels Messiah is because the Gospels Messiah, though he seems to fulfill the prophecies, as Matthew clearly indicates throughout the whole thing, he dies. He is not able to establish the kingdom of David on earth. And this is important for Jews because it's essential that the kingdom of David is restored on earth. They're not interested in the heavenly kingdom. They already have their God, and he's in heaven. So they're not concerned about a heavenly God. They're only concerned with a mortal, full mortal Messiah who will restore the kingdom of David. And this is why the Jews do not accept Jesus as the Messiah. So I hope you understand that. And before you jump and say, well, that's because the Jews are wrong and blah, blah, blah. No. They have something. You can't dismiss it. Because remember Joseph Smith. When was all of his events taking place? On Jewish holidays, holy days. So don't dismiss the Jews. Elijah came to the temple during Passover. This was a Jewish holiday where Elijah is supposed to come. That's why the Jews set out a table setting for the coming of Elijah. And so for Mormons to just outright dismiss the Jews and their traditions and their claims and their beliefs, you are the ones who are looking beyond the mark, if you remember your Book of Mormon passage. And so this video series is going to go over from the Mormon theology, from the Mormon mindset, the Mormon traditions, the Mormon understanding, the Mormon interpretation, etc., about the Latter-day Saints and the Messiah who is to come and build the New Jerusalem, the temple, and restore the kingdom of David. I understand that this is late in coming. I've been publishing and posting and blogging throughout these several years, but this is going to be the first. I think I did a video before, but nobody watched it. I didn't label it correctly, I guess. But I'm going to focus this on Mormons and Mormons alone, not to Jews, not to Christians, not to non-Mormons, not to ex-Mormons, not to anti-Mormons. This is for you Mormons. And so I'll be bringing up Benson in his April 1986 talk to the Aaronic priesthood and other things, section 85 of the Doctrine and Covenants, the Book of Mormon types and shadows, as well as, of course, the understanding that the Jews should have from their Torah, because they look to Moses as the type and shadow of this last day's Messiah. And the Christians are looking for Jesus as the type and shadow of the last day's Messiah, as they think it's his second coming. And I've revealed too much, and I've probably scared you off now, haven't I? This is for you Mormons. This is not for Christians, this is not for Jews. But we will expound the scriptures in one. Alright, so the series will get started later this morning, as I've got to get ready for my day. But we'll get myself set and get this thing going for today.